Welcome to Part 5, the final part of the USDA New Lender Training course for the Single Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program. In this last part of the New Lender Training, we will discuss the loan submission process, an overview of GUS, the Guaranteed Underwriting System, and we will wrap up with some insightful tips on locating tools and resources designed to assist you in navigating the loan process from start to finish, ultimately saving you valuable time. Once you've completed viewing this final part of the training, you will be ready to complete the required knowledge quiz using the link provided by USDA to your organization's point of contact. You must receive a passing score to consider this training complete. You may take the quiz as many times as needed. Our next key topic is the Guaranteed Underwriting System and the loan submission process. Let's begin with reviewing USDA's Automated Guaranteed Underwriting System known as GUS. For USDA guaranteed loans, lenders must submit all loans through GUS. The most important thing to remember is that GUS does not underwrite loans. It is used to evaluate the credit risk of the borrower and does not replace the judgment of an experienced underwriter. GUS incorporates a modified version of the FHA total scorecard, but does not evaluate the dependability of repayment income. USDA counts on the lenders to make sure all loan submissions have been reviewed by an underwriter to ensure they qualify for a USDA guaranteed loan. It is important that all information entered into GUS is accurate and matches the 355521 form, along with any other documentation submitted. There are different roles available in GUS, and we leave it up to the lender security administrator to set them up how they see fit. As a lender, you want to make sure that only experienced staff have the ability to submit applications to USDA for final approval. The lender security or branch administrator has full capacity in GUS when it comes to submitting applications to USDA. They also have the responsibility to set up all GUS users for their organization. We recommend that lenders have 2 security administrators to ensure no interruption for their staff if one security administrator is unavailable. These lender administrators will also serve as the GUS point of contact for their organization. Users with representative with final submit authority are typically an underwriter, team lead, or manager. These users can import or manually input applications into GUS. They are responsible for certifying the loan has been underwritten by the lender and confirm data is accurate and consistent with the lender loan file, and finally perform preliminary and final submissions. USDA reviews the file submission to ensure compliance with program requirements, but USDA does not re-underwrite the lender's loan. Therefore, when the representative with final submit authority submits a final submission in GUS, they are saying this file has been reviewed and underwritten and it meets USDA requirements. This is why it's important that lenders make sure that only experienced staff are assigned this role. Users with a representative or lender agent or broker role are typically loan processors, loan officers, or third-party originators. They can import or manually input applications and run preliminary submissions. A lender agent or broker must release control of the application back to the approved lender for final submission. As a reminder, the approved lender security administrator will assign GUS access to third-party originators that they choose to work with. There are 2 ways to submit loan applications. The first is directly submitting the loan through GUS, and the second being to submit a loan file manually when needed. Let's begin with walking through a loan submission in GUS. First, the application is entered or imported into GUS. Then, the required documents are uploaded. When the loan approval official, typically the lender's underwriter, is ready, they will finalize the submission in GUS. This final submission indicates that the application complies with USDA guidelines. Once the lender completes the final submission, GUS informs USDA that the loan is ready for review. USDA then completes the loan review. After the review, a conditional commitment with the terms and conditions will be sent to the lender. Typically, it takes about 48 hours to receive commitments after a complete loan application is submitted. Remember, lenders have 30 days from the loan closing to request the loan note guarantee, so be sure to keep an eye on your timeframes. Next, let's take a look at what is required for each of the GUS underwriting recommendations. GUS will return one of the following underwriting recommendations: accept with full documentation, refer, or refer with caution. You must review your GUS findings, even for an accept loan, as you must ensure it hasn't been randomly selected for a full documentation review. These files are randomly selected for a data integrity review. A refer or refer with caution require further review and will require a full document submission. Be sure to review the GUS findings report and submit documentation accordingly. Utilize the attachment 15A with all submissions. Remember, files that are incomplete will be released back to the lender, put on hold, and will create delays. Regardless of the GUS underwriting recommendation, you will upload all documents via the GUS application. As a reminder, it's essential that you always review your findings, even with the GUS accept underwriting recommendation. You will locate the findings under the View Findings tab in GUS. There will be times when you encounter a GUS accept that requires a full documentation review. This process involves the system randomly choosing GUS accepts for a quality assurance or a data integrity assessment. If a file falls under the GUS accept with full documentation review category, the notification will appear on the findings report. Therefore, it's essential to thoroughly review your findings, even for GUS accept loans. GUS loans that receive a refer or refer with caution underwriting recommendation indicate that GUS has detected certain risk factors from the data provided. It is important to note that loans should not be rejected solely on the basis of the risk assessment produced by GUS. For these loans, the lender should complete a comprehensive underwriting review. Once the loan is approved by the lender's underwriter, a full documentation package must be submitted to USDA. Lenders must consistently and thoroughly review the findings report for each GUS loan. A refer or refer with caution will typically indicate what issues were identified, such as a low credit score, bankruptcy, or delinquent debts. Lenders must examine the file to assess whether the borrower is eligible for a loan through USDA before making the final submission. A scorecard finding usually suggests that there are several factors contributing to the referral, such as employment duration, length of residence, and limited credit history. It is essential to consider the overall risk of each loan. Now, it is possible to receive an ineligible result in GUS. Reasons for this result could include the property is not located within an eligible rural area, the adjusted annual household income exceeds the current income limit for the county the applicant is purchasing in, it is identified as a non-owner-occupied transaction, the borrower does not have acceptable citizenship or immigration status, an unacceptable SAM or KVERS result is indicated on the application, or the debt-to-income ratios exceed the income limits set forth by USDA and the borrower does not meet the requirements to qualify for a ratio waiver. If you feel this is an inaccurate determination, be sure to double-check your data entry in GUS to ensure your GUS underwriting recommendation is valid. The documents required to be uploaded to GUS for the application will depend upon the GUS underwriting recommendation and what's required per the GUS findings report. For GUS loans that receive an accept underwriting recommendation, they require the least number of documents to be uploaded and submitted to USDA for review. These documents include the appraisal, the flood certification, Form RD 355521, Request for Single-Family Housing Loan Guarantee, which is filled out completely and accurately, and a few additional items if applicable, such as the non-purchasing spouse credit report and mortgage payoff for a refinance loan. Now, for GUS accept with full documentation loans, please upload the following: Form RD 355521, the 1008 or similar form, the loan application, income and asset documentation, the credit report for a non-purchasing spouse if required, the mortgage payoff statement for a refinance loan if required, the flood certification, and lastly, the appraisal. Be sure to utilize the attachment 15A loan origination checklist. Now, for loans receiving a refer or refer with caution underwriting recommendation, please utilize page 2 of attachment 15A to determine what documents must be uploaded. Those items include Form RD 355521, 1008 or similar form, the loan application, income and asset documentation, the credit report, flood certification, appraisal, and if required, the credit report of a non-purchasing spouse, verification of rent, and mortgage payoff statement for a refinance loan. Now that we have gone over what documents need to be uploaded with the application, let's take a look at how you upload them to GUS. Before we go through the steps of uploading documents in GUS, let's take a minute to review some helpful tips to help ensure that the submission of your application goes as quick and seamless as possible. First, ensure your application is complete. Many delays in receiving conditional commitments happen because files are incomplete. Check that you have all the documents needed based on your GUS findings report and the application checklist. Verify the spelling of names, addresses, and make sure the city, state, and zip code match the appraisal. Timeliness is key. Have all your documents uploaded or ready to upload as soon as the final submission is done. Finally, it's essential to inform USDA whenever you upload extra documents that the agency requested. GUS will only notify USDA when the final submission is processed and won't send alerts for additional uploads, so keeping in touch is key for a timely review. To submit documents to GUS before and during the submission process, navigate to the Documents tab. From there, choose the document type you wish to upload and proceed to upload it into GUS. In the Documents tab, you can view all uploaded documents and those available for review. Once the conditional commitment and the loan note guarantee are issued, you'll find them here as well. We suggest checking this tab during submission to ensure that all documents have been uploaded correctly. When uploading files, aim to consolidate them whenever you can. For instance, this loan involved 18 files that needed to be opened and reviewed individually. Uploading each file separately can significantly prolong the review process. Also keep in mind that there is a file size limit. If your files exceed this limit, you might need to split them into 2 or 3 parts. By condensing your underwriting files and submitting them in the order outlined in the Attachment 15A loan checklist, you can help save the reviewer valuable time and help expedite the issuance of your conditional commitments and loan note guarantees. This example is an excellent illustration of what a file submission should resemble. Note how the underwriting and appraisal documents are submitted separately. Additionally, please ensure that the appraisal you upload includes color photos. If it doesn't, you'll need to submit a new appraisal, which could delay the review of your file. USDA typically processes applications within 48 hours of receiving a complete loan application. Applications are reviewed in order received. For the most up-to-date information on current processing times, be sure to check the homepage of the USDA Link Training and Resource Library. If you need to make changes after a conditional commitment has been issued, make sure you verify our resubmission policy before requesting a file release in GUS, as this can save you time. Here are some key points to remember. You must resubmit the application if borrowers are added or removed, there is a decrease in income or cash assets, or there is an increase in loan amount or interest rate. You do not need to resubmit the application if there is a decrease in interest rate or loan amount, or mortgage or personal liabilities, or if there is an increase in assets. As mentioned earlier, you can find a job aid for manual file submissions on the USDA Link Training and Resource Library page under the Loan Origination tab. Manual file submissions are necessary for loan types that GUS does not support, such as the Streamline Assist Refinance product and certain pilot programs. Even though these file types won't allow for a final submission in GUS, to make the manual file submission process faster, follow the 2-step instructions in the job aid to upload documents directly into GUS. This will save valuable time by eliminating the need to send documents via email. So if lenders are unable to request a final submission in GUS for manual files, how do they submit these applications to USDA in order to receive a conditional commitment? While it's true that lenders cannot process a final submission in GUS for manual files, they still have the option to initiate the application and upload necessary documents directly into GUS. This method not only provides a secure environment for document submission, but it also improves USDA's capacity for timely reviews, making it a more effective choice than sending documents via email. To begin, complete the Eligibility tab with the required property details. Next, you're going to fill in the household member information. Take a moment and double check and make sure your entries match the information on Form RD 355521. Now, under monthly gross income for all household members, include the total household income and again, double check to confirm your entries match the information on the income calculation sheet that will be uploaded into GUS. Next, go to the borrower information screen and input the borrower's first and last name along with Social Security number. Now you want to stop here. Do not order or reissue credit in GUS for manual file submissions. You will upload your credit report along with your other documents into the Documents tab in GUS. Our Single-Family Housing Guaranteed Origination and Processing Division will be reviewing your requests for conditional commitments and loan note guarantees. This division is organized into teams. Each is responsible for a specific set of states. If you have questions regarding a particular file, please reach out to the team that oversees the state where the property is located. You can find their contact details on the Contact Us tab of the Link Training and Resource Library. Now that we've covered what GUS is and the process for submitting an application, who should you reach out to if you have questions about GUS and what resources are available to assist you? The USDA Link Training and Resource Library will be your #1 source for a wide range of helpful tools. You can find user guides that will guide you through processes like adding or modifying your organization's GUS security administrators, assigning GUS user roles, and submitting loan applications. These guides are designed with clear step-by-step instructions, so be sure to take a look at them. If you experience any technical difficulties with GUS, we have a dedicated team ready to help. You can easily get in touch with the GUS Help Desk through the email or phone contacts provided on this slide. Congratulations, you completed the new lender training course. Before you leave today, let's quickly review the resources available to you. Your #1 destination for origination and servicing resources and guides will be the USDA Link Training and Resource Library. You can also find our turn times for conditional commitments on this page. This site provides a tremendous amount of knowledge. Bookmark it, save it as a favorite. You will visit it frequently. Be sure to sign up for GovDelivery email updates if you haven't yet, so you never miss important updates from USDA. You can register for GovDelivery from the link on this page. The program's technical handbook enhances understanding of the regulation and offers further insights. Known as Handbook 1 3555 or simply the Handbook, it consists of 19 chapters. The guidance provided within this handbook is designed to complement the regulation, not to substitute it. For the fastest access to the information you need, you always want to refer to the handbook first. Before handbook and policy updates go into effect, you have an opportunity to review and comment on proposed changes. On March 5, 2024, USDA announced the launching of a new online tool. The new tool, known as the Single-Family Housing and Guaranteed Loan Program Policy Desk, allows lenders and stakeholders an opportunity to provide valuable feedback on proposed policy changes for the Single-Family Housing Guaranteed Loan Program. Advanced copies of proposed policy changes are posted to this page of the USDA Link Training and Resource Library. We encourage all lenders and stakeholders to utilize the Policy Desk for review and comment on all proposed policy changes to rural development. Make sure you are signed up to receive GovDelivery notifications so you can share your feedback regarding upcoming policy changes with us. An additional valuable resource developed by our policy team is the FAQ document. This compilation includes insightful questions posed by lenders that necessitated a deeper understanding of how the regulations and handbook policies pertain to specific situations. The document features excellent examples and some quite unique scenarios. We encourage you to take a moment and review it. If you still have questions after going through your resources and tools, don't hesitate to ask. Our single-family housing guarantee team is always happy to assist you. Depending on the topic of your question, reach out to the appropriate guarantee team for assistance. As we conclude, thank you again. We truly value the time you've dedicated to reviewing the new lender training course. We hope it has equipped you with the essential knowledge to start originating single-family housing guarantee loans through USDA. Remember, we are always available to assist you with any questions you might have. The final part of the training is the knowledge quiz. If you haven't received the quiz link from your organization's point of contact yet, we recommend reaching out to them to ensure you can complete this final step. Thank you again for your partnership and for your dedication to supporting America's rural home buyers. Have a great rest of your day.